Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. And congratulations to the winner of Saturday's treasure hunt. I mean, I honestly thought that I would be coming on here this morning to give you a clue to find the seed phrase, but that wasn't necessary. So I'm just going to share my screen here so you guys can see and follow along. So the episode was published on Saturday, what was Saturday's date? The 23rd. And I published it at 4 p.m., so 1600 Central European time. And if you look here, the wallet was swept at about 5:25 p.m. Central European time. So it took less than 2 hours to find the seed phrase, which is just like, I mean, I didn't think it would take an hour and 25 minutes to find the 12 words, but there you go. I have to say as well that that episode has about 73 views and 270 impressions on YouTube. My last 3 episodes have a combined total of something like 700 impressions. Clearly, the YouTube algorithm is not a big fan of Bitcoin content or Bitcoin education like this. And so, if you find this valuable, if you enjoy the treasure hunt, if you enjoy the learning in public aspect, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and also check back. I'll do my best to be consistent with episode releases, but apparently YouTube doesn't always notify subscribers when new episodes drop. So it would be a shame to miss out on the treasure hunt, the feeling of finding the sats, sweeping the wallet, or even if you don't sweep the wallet, just finding the sats and participating is pretty good. So make sure you subscribe. And on that note, with respect to sweeping the wallet, I have to say something. I have to be responsible in what I'm doing and saying. Please avoid reusing your address. So I usually don't go in and investigate too hard because I don't do that. But I did look into the RBF incident because I was just so surprised that would happen. And in this case, let's see if I'm still sharing my screen. Here we go. So in this instance, I did click a little bit more, if you will, because I was so surprised that the wallet was swept so quickly. And I actually posted on X and Noster, like, who found the sats and how did you find the sats so quickly? Something along those lines. I didn't get a response, and I'm happy I didn't get a response. And whoever you are, I'm sure you won't respond, but please do not, because talk about sharing in public. So I clicked on the address, just out of curiosity. And immediately, this is mempool.space. I can see all of the unspent outputs. Okay. And I'm like, okay, this is a great graphic. If you haven't checked out mempool.space, you should, because I find it it illustrates really nicely some concepts of Bitcoin that can be very, abstract. Like it puts a nice visual on everything. So I'm on mempool.space and I'm just scrolling. I'm seeing 16 out of 16 transactions. The first a transaction for this address dates back to February 2025. And if we scroll through, we can see that there was a transaction. It looks like this was July, etc., all up until today. So the balance on tied to this address is 0.18 Bitcoin, about 1,500 US dollars, which is not a huge amount today in 2026. But if you fast forward 10 years, this can represent a huge amount, and it could actually make you a target. Not to mention, it looks like perhaps this person transacts with an exchange or with an entity that holds, a lot of Bitcoin. Because if you look, like, the amounts are quite large. Over 1 Bitcoin sent to the address. You can see the change address here. Where's the other one? I saw a few of them. Yeah, like this one, the first address, 2.44 Bitcoin. it was sent to this address, the winner of Saturday's bounty, and here's the change address. Like, you can see a lot of things online, and I know that, hold on, let me stop sharing my screen. I think I did. Let's double check. Yeah, okay. Some exchanges and some mining pools oblige you to reuse the same address. So when you receive a payment to the same address, it will reveal all of the other transactions related to that receive address. And Ask a Bitcoiner 21 questions, the treasure hunts. It's all about having fun. It's all about learning together. And I think that this example is amazing to help us learn together. And so the lesson from this treasure hunt is really avoid reusing the same address. I just showed you very briefly on mempool.space all of the transactions linked to that address. The last missing piece of information would be that person's identity. And with that, someone will know that you have control of the wallet associated with that address. And we know that the balance is at least like zero point 0.1 Bitcoin or whatever the balance was. So I do have to be responsible because I love doing the treasure hunt. I think it's amazing for us to be on this journey together, to learn together. And I don't want to put anyone in any type of risk. So please avoid reusing the same address because the whole internet can see all your business and you don't want to do that. And for the record, I've written this as a disclaimer, and I think I've mentioned it in previous podcast episodes. When I fund this treasure hunt, what I do is I buy a Bitcoin card. It's separate. The maximum amount that I will spend on that is about 100 francs, which will get me like 100,000 sats or 80,000 sats or 70-something thousand sats. So it's always a segregated wallet with a balance that's dedicated to this treasure hunt. So I'm protecting myself. Like, you can see that there aren't many sats on that wallet. And in any case, I'm giving them away. So, I'm avoiding, any link to any other transactions that may occur. But please take your safety and privacy seriously, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who has gone in and looked at the address and traced the previous transactions. And I cannot, in good faith, continue with this without expressly voicing this disclaimer in a podcast episode, as opposed to, when I type in Substack articles or in the YouTube description. So please avoid reusing the same address. So let me know what you think about the following. The month of May has been huge in terms of Bitcoin adoption, even though I feel like it's been underhyped or underreported. Why has it been huge? So the Clarity Act passes the Senate Banking Committee. It's not dead. It looks like there is a willing, push for it to go through and to get presidential signature. And Iran, on the opposite side of the world, sworn enemy to the US, has announced in the month of May the Hormuz Safe. And basically, it's a Bitcoin-backed insurance that international shippers would have to purchase in Bitcoin in order to pass the strait. That's the TLDR of it. It's, when it was first announced, it was like a rumor. Bloomberg has reported on it as well. I'm guessing that they've verified, but we don't know. We will know once it is in fact implemented and out there. And so I'm thinking to myself, I remember back in the day when I used to listen to the Kaiser Report with Max and Stacey, Max Kaiser talking about, game theory on a geopolitical level. Are we actually seeing this play out right now? And the reason I thought of that again this morning is that in looking at just, our simple and fun example of the person who won the 42,000 sats in the treasure hunt, I'm seeing that the person has reused the address. In the past, I've seen exchanges that demand and that require that, when you want to take your Bitcoin into self custody, you can only use the same address. I don't know the extent to which that is law. I don't know the extent to which, exchanges can get in trouble. I don't know the extent to which, this is mandatory in the US, but if I think of the Clarity Act and I think of, just the thought of, wow, this is great. Bitcoin in self-custody will be codified. Peer-to-peer transactions will be codified. Not, I guess, thinking through entirely. When it passes, if it passes, the CFTC will have about 270 days to write the rules. Do you think that it's possible that amongst those rules that the CFTC will issue to exchanges, brokers, dealers, etc., do you think that they will make it mandatory that address reuse must be there? If a customer, I'm thinking more on the retail level of things, if a retail customer wants to purchase Bitcoin from the exchange, they absolutely have to reuse the same address. And if that is in fact the case, it would be kind of I don't want to say it would be sad, but, you know, it would kind of maybe weaponize Bitcoin in the codification of Bitcoin in self-custody. Let me know what you think about that. And if you are using an exchange anywhere in the world, and that exchange requires you to use the same address all the time for your when you transfer from the exchange to having your Bitcoin in self-custody, please do not use that address for any other types of payments. Don't use it for the treasure hunt. Don't use it for anything at all, because again, the whole internet can see your business and you don't want that to happen. So that is my public service announcement for this Monday, May 25th. I hope you appreciate it. And if it's something that you've never thought of before, I hope that this is an opportunity for you to investigate with a real life example. You guys have been here. You know that the episode hit Saturday. You know that I shared the address, and that the wallet was swept. So it's not some abstract discussion that is going on here. It's something real. It's something tangible that you can look up yourself on mempool.space, and you can familiarize yourself with, I guess, UTXOs, learn more about UTXO management, and above all, do not reuse the same address. And I think that was all I wanted to mention before sharing the seed words. Yep, that's it. So, without further ado, let us get to the seed words. And while I hit the record screen, I will also say, if you are going to the film festival, the Bitcoin Film Festival in Warsaw, June 4 to 7, use my, discount code AAB21Q, and you will get 21% off of your ticket. And it'll be a pleasure to see you in person. I can't wait to see Tomek in person. Paco de la India is going to be there. He's going to lead like a yoga sort of meditation session. There are going to be some great films, obviously great people. One thing about Bitcoin events is one of the biggest, I guess, selling points for me is just being able to see people, see Bitcoiners in real life, and just, talk about everything and nothing and have a wonderful time. So please, I hope to see you there, and use discount code AAB21Q. Okay, so Blue Wallet is just loading. Here we go, and I am going to hit plus. Import wallet. So you know what? I'm actually going to name this wallet Tomek Recovery. And then import wallet. Okay, so without further ado, here are the 12 seed words, aka the seed phrase, which someone found in an hour and 25 minutes. Number 1, sudden. Number 2, grief. 3, series. 4, nation. 5, mushroom. 6, hotel. 7, magnet. 8, absent. 9, wheat. 10, diary. 11, success. 12, major. And voila. So I'm just going to double check to make sure I recorded them properly. Sudden grief series nation mushroom. Sudden grief series nation mushroom. Hotel, magnet, absent, wheat, diary, success, and major. Et voila. And we're just going to do import. It shouldn't take so long. Oh, while it's importing, thank you so much for the comments and the feedback. Should I add a passphrase to this challenge? And if I do add a passphrase, when should the passphrase be published, and on which platform should the passphrase be published? Because I fear that if I, for example, leave a week between the time the episode is published and here we go, boom, your wallet has been successfully imported. Okay, thank you. Boom, and we're going to stop the screen recorder. There we go. So yeah, if I leave a week between when the episode is published and when I share the passphrase, I fear that across, multiple continents, multiple time zones, I'll still run into the same problem where some people have a time advantage because let's say I share the passphrase at like 4 p.m. Here, which is, I think, 10 a.m. on the East Coast in North America, and maybe 10 p.m. in Asia. And so I don't know when people go to bed. I don't know what people's schedules are. I don't know like what your work schedule is. And so I don't know exactly when I would share the passphrase in order to make it a little bit more fair for everyone. So leave your comments. Some of you have already started commenting about the passphrase, but leave your comments and tell me yes or no, I should include a passphrase. And if yes, when I should share the passphrase. And with that, I think I've covered everything on my list this week. Congratulations again to the winner. Please don't reuse the same address because we're seeing your business. And that's it. Have an amazing week. Hopefully it's warm and sunny where you are, like it is here in Geneva. It's like 30 degrees and I'm loving it. Have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, which will certainly be with Dr. Amuse. Will share the full interview with him, which YouTube may also suppress and ban because he really goes in on certain things that I do believe YouTube doesn't like. Have a great week. Bye.